bans. Honestly, the Victor and the Rise, not bans I was necessarily expecting.
Yeah, the Rise again is kind of like, well, play late, play
I thought
lane.
that was a Shavado.
I thought it was going to be the
Twisted.
I thought it would be the Twist of Fate ban instead of the Rise, because, I mean, IG actually really liked the Rise pick, because Yuekai, as we said, not the best in lane, so he wants to try and escape. Now, we'll have to see what V5 are going to do, and I like that V5 opted for red side, because now they're going to know exactly where IG's members are going before they have to worry about any pesky business. But with the Twist of Fate there, it does feel like a lot of attention is still going to be put towards Zika in that top lane. The question for me is if Zika wants to go for something like the Jace in the top lane, right? Like, if they take it here, maybe they then, alongside the jungler, means you can either get one, a good jungle matchup, or two, start to ban away, the counters the Jace in this next rotation.
So, I just want to quickly point out this Senna Tahm Kench that has been locked in. I mentioned this on the last V5 series that I cast, and I'll mention it again. Photic has played 10 games of Senna in his entire career, a bunch of them on top esports way back when in 2020. He's won 9 out of 10 of those games, and that was not a top esports that won games very often. This is Photic's pick. This is a pick that he is just exceptional on. This is a pick that B5 can lean on.
Also a pick that allows you to play away from bot lane. Like, it's going to just do its thing. It's going to farm it out. And when you know you've got the Twist of Fate there, well, it's not exactly the easiest time to try and gank the Senna and Tahm Kench. So you've got to find lane, and you can try and then answer on this top side to go and try and get away from Yuekai. So you've got the Lee Sin locked in from Karsa. This is actually something that's banned away a lot from Karsa. He ends up with the band away from in 93% of their games. Like, Karsa is a phenomenal Lee Sin. The league knows it. And the fact that he now has the Lee Sin here, he can ban away things like the Xin Zhao as well to get himself into a good matchup if they want. Although they are looking at those top lane picks for Zika, which I think honestly might actually be the better call here. And now you can have full control here for V5 and trying to get counter pick for Rich in that top side. A good matchup for Rookie against the Twisted Fate, and V5 looking to try and bounce back here in game number 2.
So if they can, it's going to be up and away, and we'll see what else. But yeah, the Lee Sin for Karsa, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little scared for Shun on this one. I will say, I do like, I'm kind of going back a little bit here to the Twisted Fate pick. There's a bonus effect. That's that Rookie probably won't want to pick the LeBlanc into the Twisted Fate. While obviously the lane matchup is pretty good. Later on into the game, it doesn't work out. But that said, I guess IG, not going to risk it anyway. Ban away the LeBlanc. It will be a Vex for Rookie instead.
Quick lock into that as well. So Rookie pretty happy with that one, being able to see if he can try and just keep that push in mid lane, try and prevent Yuekai from roaming. I wasn't sure if we'd end up seeing something like the Orianna from Rookie, something that can do pretty well against the Twisted Fate. And I think Rookie's been probably the best Orianna, honestly, we have in the league. The guy's insane on the pick, but going to be opting back instead over towards the Vex. And now we get the Diana, and what's the plan here? We're just going back towards the tryndamere.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Like, the thing is, Rich might just pick Malphite. And then you really can't do much. Or he might pick Teemo, or he might pick Jax, or he might pick any of these picks that is good against auto-attacking champions. Tryndamere kind of just crumples in on himself. So it is not as good of a pick if it's blind like this, but we'll have to wait and see what they end up going for. It's going to be a Poppy, which I imagine, similar sort of situation, right? You can stop the spinning slashes. You can just build a ton of armor.
And she actually does pretty well. She's got a decent amount of early game damages too, so works out pretty nicely. I was like, small part of me, Nasus does phenomenal into Tryndamere. I was like, if we get a Nasus versus Tryndamere top in the LPL, I'm going to lose my mind. But it is going to be the pop instead, and it does mean that you've got like really good kind of control here for V5 in so much of like, hey, we can stop engages and peel for Photic. The big downside of this composition for V5 is very little engage. You're kind of reliant on Rookie getting like the big ultimate into a wombo fear to make things happen. Otherwise, you kind of just get to play at range here as got my brain lagged. IG, like, well, I know you don't have a huge amount of range, but you can still like take your fights and kind of like look for picks with Yuekai and this Twisted Fate.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to. They're going to have to. The one concern I do have for Yuekai is if you go for the ult in the not ideal position, Rookie has that fear as his passive. You can just deny that from Twisted Fate in the right situation. Whether or not that happens is a different conversation entirely. But I will say, in terms of lane matchups, there is plenty of opportunity for IG early on. Like you're saying, get that Twisted Fate out, down towards the bottom lane, up towards that top lane. Try and find advantages before the scaling starts to come in. Because once Poppy scales up, once Senna scales up, this game is not going to get any easier for IG.
Yeah, and I mean, the more I think about this, like, actually how tough this game is for IG, right? Like, you've such a good anti-engage side coming through from V5, and they've actually got a ton of range as well on their side. Like, Photic is going to be able to, like, scale to infinity. You've got Rookie who can try and, like, poke at range. And yes, you've got Yuekai who can look for engages, but ppgod, at least if he's in position, should be able to stop that. It's really hard to play front-to-back fights where Rich is in front of you, Karsa is in front of you, and even if you're just have Rookie there, he can prevent a lot of those engages as well.
Man, Zika is quickly becoming my favorite player.
Yeah.
He's just... Lane hasn't even begun yet, and he's already like, Rich, I am going to make your life hell. I'm going to do everything in my power to
Church of Zika, where ends it happening.
Okay, ppgod's been found here. I'm getting some damage. That's a flash burn already. Shun over to the side. Crescent Strike in onto everyone. It's not going to lead to a kill, but again, an early flash. It's traded for an ignite, but that's definitely a trade IG will take.
Yeah, pop burn by ppgod as well. Does have the Doran's shield, so we'll get some regen out, but certainly should give control towards On and Lucas in this bottom side of the map, which is going to be really, really nice for them, especially Shun starting on this top side, pathing down towards the bot lane. Should be in a relatively good spot to pick up a scuttle.
I have to say, that little Nara mode, massively. It's so adorable. Like, how can you not be sad when you see that little crying Nara? Anyway, maybe I'm just too emotional. Oh, another hook out from Lucas. He is just lining them onto ppgod today. ppgod's the guy that we usually praise for the hooks, you know? When you think about ppgod, you think about these hook champions, but today, he's the one being hooked, and it's Lucas on the scene.
On and Lucas, though, as we said, pushing bot now. And the big question for me is, like, what happens with the early scuttle, right? Because you can see Karsa's already made his way down here. And going for, actually, looks like maybe a 3-camp start. So might look to make a play onto this bottom side as ppgod hits 2 and maybe look for the engage. But if not, Rookie has control in mid. Yuekai can't really roam down. But you have On and Lucas who can roam up to the scuttle crab as well. So we might have a little bit of an early skirmish.
Yeah, we may well have one. See if it's going to happen, though. Karsa actually just going to look for the bottom lane instead. Ward over. I thought he warded too far then for a second. ppgod moves forward to try and start the fight. On could be the target. It might just go for Lucas, though, instead. It's going to be a slow down. Another slow coming out from the cripple. Sonic Wave is there. One more auto will do the trick. And Karsa grabs himself first blood. A root there means a bit more damage onto On as well, but won't be a second kill. Still, nicely done by ppgod.
And this is why we called it out, right? That 3-camp start, red chickens into your Krug gives you that level 3. I mean, so often see junglers go for that early gank, and it works out perfectly. On and Lucas hadn't pushed in, they couldn't hit that wave and hit that level 3, so ppgod managed to get the engage for them.
Nice little trades from Zika up in this top side as well. Every time Rich tries to go for the shield, Zika's saving his spinning slash to spin onto the shield, deny the shield coming out. It's a shield that gives a shield. This is a hard sentence. He denies the shield, which stops the shield for Rich, but it also gets the damage out from the spinning slash. So Rich having a tough time in the early stages of this matchup. Shun wants to answer what happened in this bottom side. And the wave is pushing towards him. Could be an angle, but Karsa, he knows what's going off here. Minions are going to be cleared. There's 2 wards from the side of IG, and that's immediately ppgod almost going down, but Karsa survives in time. And on the Sonic Wave, can Karsa follow it up? Doesn't look like it. Just going to back away for the time being. Can this be followed up, though? Lucas is looking for more. Won't find a hook, though.
Oh, that's the lock, though. Trying to see if they can fish it between the minions, but yeah, I mean, Photic doesn't really have the damage at the moment, especially compared to On with that Inferno. He's just getting so much splash damage off, so V5 do pass away, but they get that push into the bottom side of the map, which is really what they were looking for there. Now you get a good reset coming through for Photic and ppgod, so they'll be in a relatively good spot, and Karsa can try and come up towards this top side. He may need to help out Rich here, because there is a problem with the wave now pushing out, that if Rich gets caught here between Zika could try and chase him down.
Yeah, the only issue for Zika, obviously not level 6 just yet, and there is a million minions there. So if Zika overextends, he could just lose the trade, and Rich won't let him escape. If that happens, Rich go for the solo kill, going for the outplay. Zika, not having to flash though, will survive for the time being.
Rich does have his juggler in his back pocket though. Zika got the heal for himself, so Shun is just going to sit here and make sure Zika can actually farm this up and make sure that Karsa isn't here. Just showing up to keep Rich honest, and now we'll back away.
So trying to, Rich going to get that one last CS and he'll head to the hills, or perhaps not. Maybe he'll go for a dive. Karsa's here as well. That's the stun on the wall. Good flash from Zika, last possible second, and Shun is here to save the day. Karsa gets himself a bonus grump off the back of everything. Rich low on HP. Wildcast goes wide from Yuekai though. Rich still surviving. That's going to be one for Karsa as Shun goes down. Yuekai now feared as Rookie arrived on the scene as well. Zika doesn't have his flash available. That Sonic Wave, it stops him using the spinach slash, and there's the damage from Rookie. V5 come out on top of the skirmishers.
I don't know what happened to Zika though. Like, he was out, so he could have just walked away from that play. I'm not sure if he stuck around too long and it cost him, but up there,
ppgod on the bottom side, lanterns there. They'll be fine. It's okay. Nothing happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to double check. I'm assuming we'll get a replay now in a second exactly what Zika's decision making there was, but now Zika actually gonna move back mid. Karsa thinks that it's gonna be the twisted fate here. Maybe looking for play, but Karsa's no 6. He's no 6.
Zika's not 6 either though. Rookie is. There is a lot of damage available from this Vex. The Shadow Surge doesn't come through. Twisted Fate ult comes on out, and it's Karsa that's in trouble instead. Unless Rookie can get over and save his jungler, it's not going to happen. And IG do a good job to deny the dive. I feel like that was a little too aggressive back there.
Yeah, that's why I was like, once it wasn't the Twisted Fate, they need to back away because TF can show up, and now Lucas.
Yeah, we don't have a moment this game because ppgod's been caught, flashes away, tries to keep himself alive, and actually will do so. I was so sure that he was doomed. How did he get away there? He didn't even flash.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the dive managing to make him escape, but now Zika, I don't know if you want to be here, buddy.
It's such a short cooldown. Anyway, Zika now getting chased down by Rich, and this is what we're talking about. When you find a good matchup, tryndamere really does not have a good time. It becomes very, very difficult to trade.
Yeah, and especially as we start to like progress the game forward, right? IG want to try and play through sides once again, but the big issue is Zika actually can't really threaten turret because Rich will be able to lock him up underneath the structure and then make it a little bit difficult for him to actually really pressure those sides. So then when you look towards Yuekai, right? Like, he can have some control over his side lane, but I think realistically the way that IG have to try and play this is like doubling up on a side where Yuekai tries to Destiny in, help out Zika, and like they try to beat out Rich. And if that's the case, well then V5 have the opportunity to try and play through the numbers advantage that they have and try and cross map. If you end up trying to take these like full 5v5s as IG, V5 have got you killed. Like, their composition does really well against what you're trying to do. Zika. Rich get the heal there for a sec.
Rich just gets some revenge. That's what's happening up this top side. Rich is furious about that last game, and he's finally exacted a little bit of revenge. Karsa over this top side now because he has infinite priority thanks to this top lane matchup.
Yeah, but I don't know what's happening mid. Yuekai managed to get a good trade on Rookie. Rookie had to reset, so I don't know why IG aren't trying to contest this. Like, you have 3 members topside, and you know Rookie's just backed. Like, you can take this fight.
Well, they don't want to. You know, it's a free game of League of Legends. They can play how they like to play. Let's not impose our own beliefs onto these players that Herald is good and you should fight for it. She instead gonna go for a Drake as their pickup here. It's a 9-minute Drake, so a little bit later than you would usually expect here, but still gonna be a good advantage for them to start things off with. It's Rookie continuing to get some good trades here onto Yuekai.
Yukai's Destiny is about to come back up, so we're going to have to see if he can try and make plays happen. Went for the Merc threads, which I think he needs here, just with the amount of CC that can come through from Rookie and the fear, but it would have been really nice if he could have got the It only imbutes the lucidity. You get the extra cooldown on your ult and the ability to TP around the map, but unfortunately he's not going to have access to that. So definitely these destinies need to be hitting because you just won't get them up as often, and this early game can start to run away in V5's favor, especially as they're looking for a play here bot side with Rift Herald and Toe.
Look, there's a reason that everyone bans Lee Sin against Karsa, and this is the reason, because the second he has this champion, he just goes everywhere on the map, finds whatever he can. Yuekai might be what he finds here. Just going to go for the chickens, at least for the time being. Definitely wanted to go for a dive, but whether or not the window has passed, it feels like it may have here. Karsa won't find anything for the time being. He has a 700 gold lead individually right now in that jungle matchup. But unfortunately for him, the rest of the map not quite going as well. Zika, you can't all in the poppy. Keeper's verdict is just going to keep you away from that one.
And that's why this is such a good matchup. I'm surprised that they did go for the Tryndamere blind. I mean, you called it in draft, right? Much like this pick doesn't really work if you're just going to pick it out of the blue like that. And Yuekai taking a little bit of poke here from Rookie, but he's got no control over the mid lane, so can't try and roam. And Zika left on an island this time around. It's not working out as well for Invictus Gaming.
Just presses W and cancels Tryndamere as the champion. Now dive at the bottom side, and it's going to be a dive to get out of the dive from ppgod. Photic turns everyone into spooky ghosts, and they escape into the Tribrush. Yuekai needs to be a little cautious. Root comes out, but won't be in too much.
Again, you're not Russian here as B5, right? Like
no, they're Chinese.
that was terrible.
But you're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. I'm here all week.
As because you've got the Senna there for Photic, right? He's going to scale super well. You're looking at your ability to take team fights, V5 out. There's so much peel, there's so many ways to deal with what IG are trying to do. And they're meant to get turret plates for Photic as well, which is going to be their main source of damage. Like, as long as V5 aren't getting picked off, well, as I say that.
Yeah, I'm going to hold you right there, because we're going to dive up in the top side. Rich is going to go down. Diana to pick up the kill, but in the meantime, some base races there. Herald gets a second charge on the bottom side as well. On here to defend alongside Lucas. Lucas knows what's up. He's like, okay, this is Lantern territory right here, but kicked away. How did nobody want the Lantern? Doesn't matter. Sonic Wave to follow it on. Master Flash. They do keep him alive. Did no one have a ward? Someone want the Lantern? Surely, come on now. It's going to be an all-in from Shun onto Rookie, who's just completely invincible, it would seem. Shun settles for the chickens. You see that? He's farming the chickens because he knows he's dead. He's like, I'll get as much gold as I possibly can.
I mean, look, Rookie getting to play back on his old juggler there, making sure that he keeps him honest. I feel like that was a little bit of Rookie going, yeah, if we're making the play bot, I know you're on chickens. I know you're somewhere in this jungle, and managed to pick him up. But again, for IG, it's been messy, right? Bot side isn't going their way. V5 now are getting themselves ahead. 2 kills for Karsa and Rookie. Control of this bot side of the map. And the thing for IG is if they start to fall behind, it becomes incredibly difficult for them to actually get back into this game, because like, you don't have someone, as you can see, who can really kill Rich in a side lane. They have great control over the fights, and if IG can't get control of the map to find picks, it works out in V5's favor.
I should just goes for the ult and everything. Rookie's not even half health. Like, barely scratched him. There's nothing he can do in that matchup, I guess. As the fear comes out to deny a lot of it, as well as the shield from personal space. And Rookie is starting to feel quite large. 2-0-1.
He's warming up.
Yeah, he is. He's got the Lunans, he's got the boots, he's going to start to pop people, and I'm not going to lie, you're not going to have a fun time for the rest of this game. Same for Yuekai. If any of them are out of position, Rookie is going to one-shot. I mean, look at that damage. Look at that damage. Look at the Zika. You just heal it all up immediately, but away. It's a lot coming out from Rookie. It feels like he's getting into that twilight zone that is the third game. If V5 win this one and go to 3, Rookie's going to go Super Saiyan.
IG need to keep making plays like this, though, if they want to try and combat that, right? Trade Dragons for cross maps. Look to open up the map, find opportunities to look for picks, and at least they're doing it right now, but we'll have to see if they're going to continue this forward, because V5 are doing a good job of answering with Dragon and also pushing the mid lane.
A lot across the map simultaneously here. Karsa will be able to finish the Drake off at very least, but as you say, in the mid lane will be defended. 2v2 there between the bot laners. Moving over as well. Maybe Photic gonna move. No, looks like Rookie's just Just having a wander. Just moving about the map as a team here for the time being. It's going to be ult used by Yuekai to try and clear the wave. As this is going to be a tier 1 tower finished off by the looks of things. I don't think IG can defend this one realistically. A couple more autos will do the job. IG might want to fight for this one afterwards. Gold card comes on in. Karsa the target, pulled in. But ppgod gobbles him up for safety. Hooked in himself though, but Flash keeps him alive. Now the re-engage from V5. A lot of damage coming on out. The health bars not quite finished off. Shield across the team coming out from Photic. And there's the re-dive from ppgod on falls. And IG run away with their tails between their legs.
And V5 now, they can try and push this wave in to get the mid tower if they want. Blinking health bars on IG. Or you can see Karsa moving back over towards that Rift Herald. They're getting objectives regardless. And that's a perfect fight to kind of show like why IG are going to struggle. Keep trying to throw their heads against V5, but they just have to keep them and push them back every single time. Oh, Rich.
That's
he's
unfortunate.
Okay.
I mean, he stopped the E, but it was too late. And luckily for him, it was a Hex game. He's off out to safety. But unfortunately, does not get through.
Yeah, so you can see here, right? Shun tries to get the engage into Karsa. ppgod there to gobble him up, so there isn't actually a huge amount that you can really do there. He gets the big shield as well. Yuekai, not really able to set up. Lucas has to flash in, but they just fight back, right? V5 play this so well. They eventually get that good engage against the wall into Yuekai, which kind of sets this up, but ppgod, magnificent engage. And I gotta point out as well, with that Hex Dragon coming up, it's actually kind of looking out for V5, because one of the things that their composition will struggle with is like re-engages. If ppgod is able to find those engages, cool, but a slow is going to help out a lot.
Going to pick up the top side. Yuekai feared, knocked up. Can they finish the kill though? Rookie jumps back in. The answer is yes. Or is it? Gold card does a lot. Okay, Rookie finishes it off. I got too excited. I thought maybe some kind of magic with the turret firing, you know. I got ahead of myself. Yuekai falls. It will mean V5 maintain control, but once again, like you were saying before, IG getting creative on where they play on the map. Not trying to 5v5, just trying to find things elsewhere.
And they're fully built for the side lane as well, right? Like Kraken Slayer coming through from Zika, he knows that these dashes are not going to work against the composition the V5 has. So it's like, look, if I want to actually try and get through Rich, it has to be with the Kraken Slayer being able to do that max HP damage. But V5, they're taking over the map. Top gone now as well with the tier 2 taken. Tier 2 bot was already taken in the early stages with the first Rift Herald. Now you've got no mid tier 1 either, and suddenly the area on the map that IG are safe to play around is very quickly dwindling.
Certainly is, but here we go. Graviton in the mid lane. Photic should be safe with ppgod there, but if ppgod dies as well, it's not as safe as you once thought, perhaps. Both bot laners fall from V5, and now a huge opportunity for IG. You don't need to 5v5 if you've already killed 2 of them, but a lot of damage coming out. V5 not backing away regardless.
They will keep the turret though, but nice play from IG. We said that the only way that V5 can really lose it is if they separate and they manage to get picks across to Invictus Gaming, and that's a good example of V5. Photic just getting that bit too far forward, thinking he had ppgod there to keep him safe, but if you can get the 2-man CC against the Tahm Kench, it doesn't matter, you're going nowhere.
He certainly does, and I will say, well, let's take another look at the replay first, as I thought Photic could be fine, but Tahm Kench, if he dies as well, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, and again, it's this double CC, right? Like, ppgod gets hit by the Moonlight Vigil, which provides 1 CC onto both targets. Then you've got the Moonfall as well that's coming through, that's going to give more of that double CC. So it ends up being really difficult for V5 to get away from that. And a nice job from them to find those picks. It's just unfortunate that V5 had already kind of collapsed to be able to protect that tower, so they don't get any more.
Certainly. We'll have to see what opportunities IG are going to be able to find in the next few minutes, because once again, I want to return the conversation to something we mentioned right after Champ Select. This scaling feels good for V5. This doesn't get any harder for them as the game goes on, right? Vex is going to scale exceptionally well. Senna, maybe the best scaling champion in the entire game. Poppy's going to become a mega tank, and then Tahm Kench as well will become invincible. So it does feel like for the side of IG, there's an extent to which they're on a timer, but then again, Aphelios scales pretty well, and tryndamere, you leave him in a side lane in the late stages of the game, he'll just end.
They go up against Richie. I don't think he's winning this.
Well, yeah, He seemed to still be committed, but yeah, you're right. He definitely wasn't winning. He was, I guess as soon as it stopped being a 1v1 maybe, but ppgod tried to save Photic once again. I love this repeat play from IG. It's not worked out this time around with a flash from Rich. Shield across the team from the dawning shadow, and Photic finishes off the moon itself. V5 finding yet another opportunity, and IG is starting to feel a little bit desperate the way they're playing the game.
I mean, this play only works if you don't have the ability for Rich to just tank up the damage that Zika's tossing out. So, yes, you get the collapse onto mid, but Rich still relatively healthy. He moves in to cover the play on mid, and now V5 moving over towards the Baron, and IG just have to give it. They're trying to TP in, but I don't know if they can really fight this.
But maybe they feel like they have to. Maybe they feel like this is a do or die kind of situation. Dodging away from the root, dodging away from the Sonic Wave. Yuekai doesn't dodge the Keeper's Verdict. He's gone. He's out of there. It's a home run. And a kick onto On. That's why you ban the Lee Sin, because Karsa's a beast.
Now you just add 3 more kills to the ever-growing gold lead of V5. Baron is going to go the way of Victory 5. Maybe you can pressure mid lane turret here as IG, but you can even see they're scared as Rookie's already dipped away from Baron to put his toes into that mid lane pool.
Will V5 finding themselves the fight that they've been looking for hours at this point. It's a 6,000 gold lead after the Baron. And again, this was IG starting to play off. ppgod gets the gobble before the knockup happens.
And you can see there kind of like split decision making coming through from Yuekai, right? He stuns the Tahm Kench thinking, look, maybe I can buy enough time here for Shun to get in to get the ult so we get the double CC to maybe burst out both of them. But unfortunately, timing just wasn't quite there. And then this contest from IG was never going to work. Great job from Karsa. Even manages to get the 3-man CC with that pick. Following up for ppgod to get the Abyssal Dive, knock up. Like, they weren't going anywhere on IG's side.
You know, a lot of people criticized Karsa more recently on his performances, but when he gets Lee Sin, this is his summoner's rift. He just permits everyone else to live on it, you know? Or in fact, if you're IG, he really doesn't permit you to live on it, because that didn't look like permission to me. Absolute destruction. Beautiful kick coming out from Karsa. And that, Lee Sin is one of those champions where veterancy really does show, you know? The amount of hours this guy has on Lee Sin, you just see every single fight. It's so beautiful.
And now they're going to push in with that Baron ball. Thanks to that play. Mid gone. That's the last outer turret that remains for IG. And when you look at IG, not exactly the best wave clear team in the world, right? Like, being able to clear out these Baron minions is going to be tough for them. And especially as they lose all the vision, it feels like 2 minutes until V5 can get that dragon just off of all the vision they gain from this Baron push.
Yeah, it's one of the difficulties running Twisted Fate as well, is when you're up against these Baron minions, you're not really going to be able to achieve too much. Feels like a lot of that heavy lifting is going to be on the Aphelios to try and clear these minions away. But Rookie can just pressure this all day long, and I feel like Photic, I don't know how many souls he's on, but he's got to be on a lot at this point in the game with the amount of fighting that's been going on as well. They're going to hammer home. Shadow Surge goes wide. That's quite a big cooldown for V5. Midnight Vigil is going to do all but nothing here. ppgod goes to the re-engage. Karsa finally in, looks for the kick himself, but he's just going to tank it all up. He's completely invincible, and now with a stopwatch, Hook goes through him onto ppgod, and Rich jumps into the middle of everything. He wants to be a part of the party. Photic battering away Zika on the top side of the fight, and that's going to be an inhib taken by V5. They'll even take the Hex Gate out for style.
The attempted engages from V5 kind of show that they don't really have any engage. Like, this is a team that definitely can struggle with it, but when you're this far ahead, it doesn't matter. They get the bottom inhibitor. They're getting the push with the Baron. And as we said, a minute until this dragon. That's going to be the 3rd dragon of the game for V5. It feels like it's only a matter of time until they close this one out.
It's feeling like V5 will be V3 once more. It's feeling like we might just go to 3 games on this one as needs to be a little cautious. He'll get away. He's okay. He's amazingly out of mana, which I don't know how he's managed. He's only just left base. I guess he was just spamming onto the wave. I guess Aphelios really doesn't have that much mana to work with.
I'm just laughing at Zika. Zika's gone for the hole breaker. I love the fact that you only have 2
The
towers remaining, and you're like, I still need to split push. This is all I can do, but it ain't gonna help you.
I think it's acknowledging that this is the only way that IG manages to find anything is if he can get creative and find some angle. But oh my days! Rookie flies halfway across the map to try and chase down Zika, but On has been. Oh, poor On! It was Zika that was caught. He was caught halfway across the map, and everyone has so much mobility. They fly over mid, and On's like, where did everyone come from?
Oh, poor On. Now the reset coming through from Yuekai, but this game's already done. B3 will live strong in every series.
They will go to 3 games. Death, taxes, and B5 having a 3-game series. Those are the only certainties here in the LPL. It's going to be a keeper's verdict onto the fountain just to keep them away while B5 attempt to end the game. They're not doing a very good job of ending the game, though. It has to be said, this is taking a long old time. That's going to be a route, though, coming in onto the enemy team. Rich is there, shield across them as Karsa goes in and causes chaos. The goal difference is enough here. Double kill comes through for Photic as V5 finish things off in style. A triple for Photic and a 3rd game in the series.
And V5, with a phenomenal draft and great performances in the early game, will manage to take game number 2. Honestly, it felt like a bit of a stretch here from IG when we look towards like the tryndamere again being picked up in this top side of the map, and when you got the counter coming through for the Poppy,